Deepti and Miss Nisha Verma, ma'am. Thank you so much to all the eminent speakers and the guests for accepting our request and spending their valuable time with us. Thank you so much. Now we'll start with the session 2, which is based on the topic Create a New World for Yourself. Beauty is not about having a pretty face, it is about having a pretty mind, a pretty heart, and most importantly, a beautiful soul. I am delighted to introduce Miss Parul Watts. Miss Parul Watts is winner of Mrs. India Beauty Queen 2019. She is dentist at NHS UK, a dentist by profession and presently settles in London, UK. Parul Watts has won many beauty pageant including MIBQ Mrs. India Globe 2019. She is a wonderful amalgamation of beauty with brains. I request Ms. Parul for her motivational words. Over to you, Ms. Parul.
Hello. Hi, good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear and see me well.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Just ignore it. It's my son in the background because I've been waiting for so long. So he's 2 years old, so I think he's awake. Right. So firstly, I'm extremely delighted to be amongst all of you on this special occasion of International Women's Day, because I'm starting my morning with all you lovely ladies, and it's an extreme honor and privilege to be among such, esteemed, great women achievers. So thank you for having me. So let's, today is, as we all know, International Women's Day, and let's go back to how this came into existence. If we think a little bit about it, I want to thank all the women who actually made so much of efforts and whose efforts led us to have a voice for ourselves on this International Women's Day, because they started this movement and raised their voice against what we were facing hundreds of years ago. Women didn't have the right to vote. They didn't have equal representation in parliament. None of that, what we enjoy today, existed if it was not for them. So I still remember and thank all the ladies who contributed for this great day. Also, I would like to mention that, not a lot of, even some of my friends didn't know that we have 3 colors which are, associated with International Women's Day. There's actually purple, green, and white. So purple represents respect and dignity. Green represents hope, and white represents purity. And I think all of this signifies us women. So that's about what's the day today. Now coming to the theme, the global theme of International Women's Day, which is a great theme, and I think a very well thought theme of choose to challenge. So, and I think it's very appropriately and aptly set, because for me, I always think a woman is somebody who personifies strength, beauty, intelligence, and she's the one who, God has given the ability to create, to give birth, and she's the one who bears so much of pain. And she's the one who's a wife, a daughter, a mother. Can you hear me? Yeah. So, and she's the one who actually empowers everybody at home and wherever she goes out. She's a natural giver. I think that's how maybe God made us. But such is the tragic irony of fate that everyone else talks about empowering us. And, it's so common that we often hear about women empowerment. But the need of the hour, I feel, is actually for us to empower ourselves. And as the theme is that choose to challenge. So if we have to challenge something and if we have to change something, so challenge takes us towards a change. And as Mahatma Gandhi rightly said, that be the change you want to see. So if we want to challenge and change, then we have to be the change we want to see in the world. So if we want to see the world for us to be empowered, we have to empower ourselves and first challenge ourselves. So I think that seems the theme fits very well, which is to challenge ourselves. So we have to challenge us on every level, be it emotionally, spiritually, intellectually. And I have decided for myself, and that's what the message I can give is to, you know, give voice to our emotion, challenge yourself to love yourself enough to speak what you want, to be able to say yes or no in comfortably, to be able to give wings to your dreams. And the need for challenge comes because we've been accepting the way life is for way too long. We've accepted others taking decisions for us. We've accepted that others deciding who our life partner would be, what we will wear, where we will stay, what we will study, who we are going to go with. So all these decisions we've accepted. We've accepted the bias of this patriarchal society. We've accepted to be the victim at the hands of misogyny. So all these things and the inequalities we have accepted, and that's why there is a need to challenge all this that has been going on for way too long, and the injustice and inequalities against women, because it is very surprising the rate of domestic violence in our country. And most of the women, they feel that it is okay because they are our husbands. Because I remember an incident, I had a house help at home when I was in Delhi, and what happened with her really shook me. Because especially in our country, we don't even realize that mental abuse, emotional abuse is also abuse. Someone doesn't have to physically hit us to be abusive. And so all this has been okay for way too long, and that's what I want to challenge. And that's what all we should be challenging. If we want this to change, we shouldn't be accepting this. And also, I remember, because I come from a family, basically my family is from Haryana. So my grandfather, and my grandmother used to live there, and then they moved to Delhi when my dad was really young. So I have two sisters and I'm the second one. And I remember, as I heard, when I was born, my grandmother, wasn't happy, because she thought that, now we have a second daughter, and she wanted a grandson. And my mother are 5 sisters. So when I came to know about it, I went up to my grandmother and I asked her, I said, because we used to call her Ma, and I said, Ma, were you not happy when I was born? That she said, no, I didn't say like this. I did. But that's how, I want to say the mentality is still in our country, that a son is very essential, that, a girl child is unwanted, especially if you're a second or a third girl. A boy is that much important. So I believe that men and women are important, but we need to change our mindset first. We need to challenge our culture, our tradition, the way we are brought up, the way we are conditioned. Because in today's world, I don't think women are any behind or any less than a woman is. And that day, I think I decided that what I hear, that's not what I'm going to do with my children. And that's not what my children will do with their children. Because if we see something being wrong, that's what we should learn from. Although I have a son, I don't have a daughter, but I didn't mind if I have a daughter or a son, because I would love them equally and I would want them equally. And I don't think that only a son can take my name forward. I believe my daughter can do equally well. And if you look these days, daughters are more compassionate towards their parents. And that's what I believe, because we are 2 sisters. So small things on day-to-day basis, what we see, I think when they change and when we bring about a change in them and stop accepting and saying it's okay, she's a girl, she can, if we have less money, she can stay at home, her brother can go to school. And that's what commonly I saw especially in lesser privileged sections of our society. So firstly, we need to change ourselves. And once we change us, our beliefs, what we want in life, and we are able to express ourselves and not give up on our dreams, for others, for making a home, and we love ourselves, because we hear a lot about women empowerment, self-love these days, but how much actually we follow it. So, and that's what my message is really for today. And apart from that, what example I can give is that from my own life, that I was a dentist, and I was always very studious, and I was told by my parents to study well, either be a doctor or an engineer. If you in India, if you have to be successful, you have to be in certain professions, and that's what we are taught. But when I go back, I was very good at singing. I really wanted to be a singer. I wanted to learn classical music, but that's always considered to be a hobby. And we had a very esteemed, I think, musician or a panelist on a woman in our session today, and I was listening to her, and I think that really needs to change. That the careers we choose, they can be anything we want, not what everyone else wants for us. So. So that's another thing which I think I would challenge today. And lastly, I would say that we need to have faith in ourselves. We need to believe in ourselves that we can achieve anything we set our mind to. And each one of us here is unique. We have our unique qualities. What everyone else is saying about you doesn't define you. What everyone is saying on social media about you, or what your family or friends are saying about you, that or trying to stereotype you. Don't fall for it. Just believe in yourself and work hard. And if you believe in you, then you are going to get it. And if you want it all, you can have it all. And that's what I decided in my life. Even at 35 years of age, I thought of going into a beauty pageant, because I think for way too long, I was busy in studies. I was studying in India, then I moved to the UK. I was studying here. I worked hard. I achieved, what I wanted to. And then I thought that what I really want in life and what makes me happy, that's what I really want to do. And just doing dentistry wasn't enough for me. I wanted to do something for the society. I wanted to participate in a pageant. I wanted to go into a different industry. That's what I choose for myself. So that's what I will say to all these young students who are listening today, that don't just think that this is what you can do. You can do a lot more and experiment with your life and achieve what you set your mind to. Have a strong mindset, and don't let the failure, disappoint you, because failure is the key to success. So if you learn to cope with failure, failure is not what defeats you. What defeats you is giving up. So defeat the failure and never give up, and go and get your dreams. And lastly, I just, want to say a quotation on this occasion of Women's Day, that she is a dreamer. She is a believer. She is a doer. She is an achiever. And that she is you. That she is all of us. She doesn't follow the crowd, rather than she makes the crowd follow her. And being a woman in itself is a superpower. So let's celebrate us, God's best and most beautiful creation. And I wish you all a very, very happy International Women's Day today. And one thing, lastly, I want to say in Hindi is that, when I think about Women's Day is about Shakti, is about Shakti Swarupa. And when I think about Shakti Swarupa, I think of Ma Durga. And we have a lot to learn from her if we look at how we worship in India, Lord Durga. She's वो करुणामयी है, वो दयामयी है, वो प्रेम देती है. Yet she has all the weapons in her hand to fight the evil, to fight the bad. So similarly, we need to fight the bad and the evil in the society against us or against anyone. And that is the real empowerment. So the real women empowerment is to empower each one of us emotionally, mentally, fight against the biases on a day-to-day basis, and empower us, whether it's a man or a woman, because Ma Durga or a woman doesn't discriminate between a man and a woman. We are natural givers. We always give. But don't forget to have a balance and love yourself as well. And don't lose yourself in giving to others. So that's what my message is. And hence, I challenge everyone to fight against all the inequalities that are happening against anybody, any young girl or a man or a woman around us. And that's what signifies a woman. So let's all pledge for that. And in the end, I'll just wish you a very happy Women's Day. With that, my son has just come. So just excuse me if he makes noise. Thank you very much.
Very well, ma'am. So very much, ma'am. Very well said. by you, ma'am. Still, there is discrimination in